Morning, Market Snipers. This is Jesse. It's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a lot to cover today. We're going to jump right into it. First, is the NASDAQ crashing, right? Will the NASDAQ go below $14,000? I'm looking at the futures chart, right? Will Bitcoin follow the overall market lead, right? And we're going to take a look at it. We're going to look at the NASDAQ. We're going to look at the Dow Jones, SP 500, the dollar, the metals, gold, silver, VIX, SQQQ. We've already got some chart requests, as you can see. Rivian, GF1, the cattle futures, Bitcoin, and anything else you want me to take a look at. We're also going to look at the Magnificent Seven. So the first 15, 30 minutes, I'm going to go through a ton of charts. We'll start going through the comments after that. All the good mornings. Everyone leave a good morning, what's up, or good afternoon, wherever you're at. And let me know where you're tuning in from. And then also, you have to be a subscriber to comment. So if you want to comment, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know if you want me to chart anything. The last 15 to 30 minutes feels like this is going to be a lot longer than an hour, but the last 15 to 30 minutes, we'll go over chart requests. So a lot to cover, and there we go. Let's get going. So the NASDAQ, right? Here we go. Let's get the bigger chart going here. The NASDAQ. This should be no surprise for the market snipers. There should be no black swan event that we're blaming for a bigger market correction, right? We talked about this 9 days ago, put out a video. Go take a look at that video for a deeper dive on, is the stock market crashing? 9 days ago, there's a video for that on the YouTube channel. So go take a look at that. We've been covering this every day since we started live streaming. I think this is the 20th or the 21st live stream, right? So quick recap. We had the bearish divergence. We had the lower high, followed by the breakdown and hit target 1, followed by a second lower high, right? And then price broke back down. And at this point here, retested this first target. And from this point, even down here at 14,000, 700-ish, whatever it was, we were talking about on the live stream that, it could bounce back up into the trending dots, kind of like the moving averages and the trending dots kind of catch up. We even talked about it again yesterday with Dr. Nick, who was on the live stream yesterday with us. And we were talking about this in real time. This should not be a surprise for any of the market snipers. If it's still surprising you after all the charts that we put out, after all the live streams, after all the videos we put out, you're not blocking the noise out as much as you need to be, right? So don't get me started on a long rant this morning. Let's keep this to the charts. But who am I talking to? I'm talking to myself. But there's no excuses, right? There's no excuses for not to be prepared for this. There's no excuses not to be prepared for lower prices, right? If you are getting taken by surprise, then you're not blocking out the noise enough. So price, we were talking about this even yesterday. It's looking like it could be putting in a bear flag. Could have it put in a higher low and back tested the trend line? Sure, it could have, but it was also looking like a bear flag, right? And so is that it? Is that the third lower high? It was too early to call it yesterday, and that's why I had a question mark on it. And of course, a daily close back below this pivot point at $14,715, let's say, that would be the confirmation that it's that was a third lower high, and that we now have a lower low. So it's not confirmed yet. It's currently below it. So it seems like it's a third lower high already, right? Yep, I see inverse QQQ. Yep, we're going to go through all the comments, all this. We're going to get into it. We got a lot to cover. I'm going to rock and roll through some charts first. So make sure you're hitting the smash button, the like buttons, everything, the subscribe, smash those like buttons. But we're going to keep going. So it's breaking down, right? And if you go back to the video that I posted 9 days ago, is the stock market crashing, right? I've got some bigger targets that I haven't talked about in a while because I wanted to focus on this rally. But from up here, from the price point of early January and even December 2021, we're talking about the stock market correcting, the NASDAQ correcting. It hit this target, it pierced this target, and then we were talking about the bullish divergence followed by the rally. Now it was a lower high on the weekly chart, right? We've talked about many stocks have come back and retest the March 2020 lows. Will the NASDAQ retest the March 2020 lows? Will the NASDAQ come back down, test these longer term targets? Will the NASDAQ come down and hit this target here that has not hit yet so far? We're going to find out all of that, right? But if you want to take a deeper dive on the NASDAQ, then go check out that video from 9 days ago. So we're going to keep going. What's next? The Russell 2000, right? Let's go to the weekly chart on the Russell 2000. So I was mapping all this out. And again, the March 2020 lows. Many stocks have retraced to the March 2020 lows, including, Disney, Amazon, and some other major stocks. Not some smaller stocks, but some major ones, right? The Russell 2000 back below the 200-week moving average, right? Back into this longer target. So if it comes down and starts closing weekly below 1740, right? A weekly close below, it's at 1741. Let's kind of zoom in here, try to get a little bit better, right? Let's say that it closes below this pivot point at 1742. So it's currently below it. You get a weekly close. It's still early in the week. Doesn't mean it can't bounce and put in a lower high, but you get a weekly close back below here. That puts in a lower low, in my opinion. And this would have been another lower high compared to here. And it just signals to me that a higher probability that price comes back down and tests this target, which would be around the $1,500 mark. So that's the Russell 2000 futures. Let's go to the S&P 500 futures, right? So we've kind of zoom out here on this weekly chart. Again, we've got it mapped out. March 2020 lows. Price has, on a longer term, hit this target. Price hit this second target. There's still two targets below that it has not hit so far. You've got this longer term high. You got this longer term lower high. You've got this longer term lower high right here at 45.20. Then you have the price breakdown from this trend line, right? A close below. Now you have a sell signal in September. Now you have follow through, right? This is kind of the last trend line for the bulls, the perma bulls, to say, hey, if it bounces here, I can tell you, it's already breaking down. So you get a weekly close below. The probabilities continue to stack that S&P 500 will come back and retest this 200-week moving average, which is below $4,000. I think many will be surprised yet again. This is why it pays not to be a perma bull or perma bear, right? So it doesn't pay for that. What's paying is swing trading, right? Filling the coffers, as they say, is swing trading, right? We're taking advantage on the rallies. We're taking advantage on shorting the bounces, right? I'm not shorting the S&P 500, but I am short the NASDAQ futures, right? So that's the S&P 500. Seems like if it loses the 200-week moving average, similar to the Russell 2000, we could see lower prices and then ultimately possibly take out this this pivot low here as well. So that's what it's looking like. RSI is falling out the bottom on it's bearish, right? If you look at the monthly chart, There's no sell signal on the monthly chart yet. No sell signal, right? But there is a pending sell signal. We'll come back to it. There's a pending sell signal on gold futures. So we're going to look at that. But and there was already a sell signal on the Russell 2000, the monthly chart. So the monthly chart already had a sell signal, and a monthly close back below the 200-week moving average. So let's go. Let's keep moving forward. This is back to the weekly chart. Let's cover the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, let's zoom out here for a second. Take a quick look at, we were covering this in real time. Already had this, this finger pointing that the sell signal at 34,236, we'll call it, on the weekly chart, happened a couple weeks ago, right? So March 2020 lows. We've got this target down here. Got the 200-week moving average at 31,600-ish. More targets that could be possibly hit. It's already breaking down from this upward trend line. You got the all-time high. You've got a lower high. You got a sell signal. You've got retracement targets on the shorter term up around this 32,000 area. You get the 200-week moving average. If it drops below the 200-week moving average, could see some lower targets similar to the Russell 2000. We're going fast because we got a lot to cover, and this could be a 5-hour stream if we don't go fast. So, if you have questions, put them in the comments. We'll circle back. We'll come back to them, and we'll cover as much as we can. I've got a bigger cup of water today to try to handle it. So let's go. All right, here we go. US 10-year yield on the weekly chart, still ultra bullish, right? Still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Still ultra bullish on the daily chart. Many are calling for pullbacks this entire way. And yes, we did point out that there's before we keep going, let's take a quick break here. Quick break. Are you guys smashing the like? Are you smashing the subscribe? Okay. Deep breath. Okay. We're still ultra bullish on the daily chart. And even though we called out bearish divergence on the daily chart, we talked about this. We said, watch out for continued bearish divergence. But overall, it's bullish on the monthly, daily, weekly. Everything is ultra bullish. We've got this higher target. These targets are going back from 40 years, right? So 40 years on this monthly chart. This long-term downward trend line was broken back here at 1.6%. We hit this target. Now the probabilities continue to stack that we're going to hit this target up in the 5%. We have this target up here. May not happen, all in one shot. There could be a correction at some point, but it's trending up to the next target. We're going to take it level by level. The 10-year yield is at 4.781%. I don't even know what the 30-year mortgage rates are, but I'm going to say it's close to the 8%. I'm sure it's getting repriced today, yesterday, the day before, all this week. So the yields haven't been this high since July 2007. We've been talking about this. It was 2008. Then it was November 2007. Then August 2007. Now, if you zoom in here, the rates haven't been this high since 2007. You can go back even further. You could even say July 2002. You can go all the way back, right? You can go all the way back to 1998 if you want to, if you follow the cursor all the way over. But most recently, this candle here, August 2007, you got July right there. If you kind of zoom in there, basically close to the wick, July 2007. So the rates haven't been this high in a while, and it's happened fairly quickly, right? It's been a quick spike. So it takes time for everything to play out. If you're seeing, the market's crashing, it just takes time to play out and could be lagging, right? As they say, hard to kill a bull. The monthly chart on the DXY is still bullish, right? on the monthly. In the weekly chart, we talked about this, had that big rally. Many called pullbacks on the DXY ever since $92 all the way up. We didn't call pullbacks. We waited for a higher probability reversal on the daily chart back in October 2022. Then we were talking about the breakdown on the weekly chart, and then had that sell signal here. We had the targets mapped out. 3 of the 4 targets got hit. Missed this target here at $99 by less than $1, right? Missed that target there. So hit 3 out of the 4 to the downside. Then we were talking about bullish divergence, right? Bullish divergence. Then the breakout. So we're talking about the higher probability reversal here, right? On the weekly chart. And now it's hit 3 out of the 4 targets so far. And it's still bullish on the DXY. So I think gold is feeling it, right? Gold is feeling the DXY pain right now. Gold is feeling it. The weekly chart broke down. We were watching it, and boom, sell signal. Hit it, the second target to the downside. Have this third target here. Will price retest the 200-week moving average? It seems like it will. Whether it'll happen, all in one shot, or if there will be, some sort of bear flag or retracement, kind of let the moving averages catch up, let the trending dots kind of catch up, right? And then kind of drop back down. Of course, it is bearish right now, and it could just come back down and retest a 200-week moving average all in one shot. The silver futures weekly chart has already hit the 200-week moving average and has already gone quite a bit below the 200-week moving average. So will gold also go below the 200-week moving average? First, it's got to retest the 200-week moving average before it can go below it. But is silver leading the way to the downside, or is silver just more bearish than gold, right? So it seems like gold is kind of lagging time-wise. And so we do have this target here. We do have the 200-week moving average there. It seems like the probabilities continue to increase that gold will retest the 200-week moving average. If we look at Bitcoin, is that it for Bitcoin, right? We've been talking about this since the breakdown here at 29,000. We talked about, will it follow silver and gold, right? Will price come back down, retest it, build out a lower high, build out a lower shoulder, right? A right shoulder, and then come back down and retest these targets. It still seems to be the same plan that we talked about back in August. Even before that, we're talking about, the bearish divergence here. We were talking about sell signals, MACD bearish crossovers. It bounced, put in bearish divergence. Again, bearish MACD crossovers. RSI sell signals. If we look at RSI, you can see it there. We've got the bearish divergence, right? Lower high. This is looking like another potential lower high here. Too early to say at this moment on the weekly chart, but if we look at the daily chart, also still too early to say on the daily chart. But if you do drop down to lower time frames, it's starting to look like that is the lower high. Could possibly be the lower high on the weekly chart. I didn't have enough energy to put in a 10-minute deeper dive video or a 20-minute deeper dive video on Bitcoin last night, but I'm going to do it today. And I might even do a second video follow up on the stock market crash for tomorrow, because a lot's happening. And so if you do have any special requests on, like a deeper dive video, definitely let me know. Let me know in the X app, or let me know in the Discord, or let me know on YouTube in the comments. Just let me know what you want, and I'll take a look at it. It's possible. It's still too early to call it after hitting 3 targets. We talked about this. Would it roll over after 1 target? Would it roll over after 2 targets, 3 targets, or possibly even 4 targets? And there was a confluence area here in this third target. And so price spiked above, close back down below. So is it going to do one of these things where it kind of like comes down like this and then rolls over, right? I think this is the higher probability that it does something like that. Of course, it could just break straight down depending on how bearish everything else is. Um, but I think it's now less likely that it, oh, move that back. I think it's now less likely that it bounces, comes all the way back up, and then comes back over. So I think that is the least likely. I don't think at this point with uh, NASDAQ and everything kind of rolling over, I don't think this target gets hit. I think that might have been it for the third target. Too early to say right now, but you have to decide what your plan is and when would yesterday be a good time to take profits if you're in long positions? It's still technically bullish on the daily chart. It's still currently bullish on the weekly chart. But keep in mind, it's still bearish on the monthly chart. It never had a buy signal on the monthly chart. And in hindsight, the monthly chart, this could be just a lower high here. So all those playing a factor. And if you move into the lower time frame, like I said, I'll do a deeper dive. This is kind of just a faster. There is a RSI sell signal back here after it went ultra bullish on the 8-hour chart. So, like I said, we'll do a deeper dive on that. Let's jump over to Magnificent Seven. And then we're going to go through every single one of these comments. We're going to go through some requests. We've already got 3 or 4 requests already mapped out on the, I haven't looked at them and charted them, but they're already on the watch list. So we'll take a look at it there. Let's see. Just waiting for the cursor. We talked about this. We've been covering the video more and more and more every day since we started doing live streams for I think about 3 weeks now. September, almost 4 weeks. I think September 7th was our first live stream. Again, we still have this. By the way, we got minus 2%, 2, 3, 2.5, 1, 1. The Magnificent Seven, which some are saying, or a lot of people are saying that has been holding up the markets. And you can kind of see that with other stocks and everything that have been a lot more bearish than the Magnificent Seven. It's not just the Magnificent Seven, but they are helping hold up the markets. So if they're correcting as well, then obviously you're going to see the NASDAQ correct as well. So still have this massive 20% gap, that long-term bearish divergence we talked about, the initial breakdown, and then a breakdown back to target 1, followed by we're looking for, wherever that lower high would be, right? We had talked about this, could it break down back below the longer-term upward trend line, bounce, trap some more longs, and then start to roll back over. And it's too early to call it, but it's looking like this would be, if this is a bearish divergence, this could be that higher low, and that would be your higher probability to short the bounce, right? So I've kind of mapped out this trend line here, and then of course you could move up to or move down to lower time frames, try to get a possible better entry. But at this point, me personally, I'm not shorting the video. I haven't even looked at the options on it, but I'm sure the options are very expensive at this point because, everyone and their brother, as they say, would be trying to short NVIDIA at this point. Back up here when there was bearish divergence and people are still ultra bullish, sentiment wise, most likely this would probably be where the options were cheaper to get in, right? So now I'm assuming it's probably more expensive now. So if anyone is shorting NVIDIA with options, let me know if they've looked at the put options, if they're expensive right now or if they're still reasonably priced. Save me some time looking at my broker and going to take a look at it. So I have no plan on NVIDIA because I'm assuming that the options are kind of expensive right now. So I'm sure there's better ones out there. Meta, talked about this, breakdown, lower high, breakdown. Will this be the lower high? It looks like it. It looks like this is a lower high. Looks like this will be a lower high. Too early to call it, but it's starting to look like it's going to start breaking down. If you kind of put a trend line here, right? Even, yeah, we can even go from here, right? And kind of map it out like that. It's getting close. It's not done yet, but it's getting very close. And this candle, if you turn this off, it's not going to look good, right? It's not going to look good to the candle traders out there. And you can kind of see where it's mapped out. You start getting a close back below, then this is going to be that lower high. And of course, taking out this pivot point here and closes at 295, you're going to see that pivot taken out. And then of course, taking this out down here is going to confirm that these were lower highs, and this is going to be lower low. But at that point, it's going to be pretty far into the move from there. So that's Meta. Whew, got a lot of comments. Can't wait to go through them all. Good morning, everyone. I'm seeing the morning comments. I take a quick sip of water. We're already 26 minutes in. Still got a lot more to cover before we jump on the comments. How many likes do we have? Let me know how many likes we have. Someone comment how many likes we have. Let me know. The goal is 100. Come on, help out the market snipers, and let's get 100 today somehow with the live crew and the replay crew. We need your support. Let's try to get 100 likes on the live stream. Amazon. All right, let's zoom out on Amazon. We got to talk about this one, right? Pending sell signal on the weekly chart. Not on Meta yet, not on NVIDIA. Amazon, weekly chart, we have a pending sell signal. We're going to zoom out here because Amazon has already hit the March 2020 lows, right? Has already retraced to the March 2020 lows, then got that rally, right? This would just be, if you got a lower high here, this could be another lower high, right? Another lower high. So you got the March 2020 lows. You have these shorter term targets here. If it doesn't find support, it could come back, retest the March 2020 lows. But even Amazon has retested the March 2020 lows, as you can see back here in January 2023. Excuse me. Woo. Deep breath, deep breath. Okay, now we'll zoom in a little bit. We got the pending sell signal. We've got the 200-week moving average here coming in at target 2. Let's look at the daily chart. Let's see. Yep. So breakdown, we talked about it could see kind of maybe a potential retracement and fill that gap at some point, right? At 135. But this is looking like a bear flag at the moment. So if you're really into like the patterns, maybe you think this is a bear flag, right? And then you kind of measure it out like that. And so that would just kind of tell you that, hey, it's one more idea. It's one more reason for price to come back down, retest the 200-week moving average, hit the second target, and then possibly go below the 200-week moving average, hit this target, and then maybe this target. Of course, expecting bounces along the way, especially on, bounce 200-week, possibly, right? Come back down, hit this target, maybe bounce again, maybe get a bigger bounce, and then ultimately it could come back down like that. So that's Amazon. There's a pending sell in the weekly chart. So it's getting more bearish, right? Oops. Let's kind of zoom in here and take some of this off so it doesn't get the chart doesn't get so messy, right? We don't want the chart messy like Jesse. All right, so pending sell signal. That's what you're kind of looking at there. If this is a bear flag on the daily chart, right? But ultimately, you had the weekly close back below, came all the way down the wick, close to the 200-week moving average, and now it's just breaking back down again. Whew, Amazon. All right, there was a sell signal on Microsoft, right? Microsoft looks like a possible double top up there in Microsoft. And if you look back here, the 200-week moving average, you've got 132 here. So the March 2020 low, right? It's possible. This could be that double top, right, on a close. You can see that the closes were very close to each other on a double top. And then this is looking like the lower high. A weekly close below 315. Kind of zoom in here. It's kind of hard to see. A weekly close below here. Looks like it already had a weekly close below. So a weekly close below. So you had a lower high followed by a lower low. And so the probabilities continue to stack that Microsoft is going down to the second target. Then we'll see the third target. I'm sure there's a fourth target around here. And then you got the 200-week moving average at $250. And don't count out the March 2020 lows. Whew. All right, let's keep going. I got a couple more. Then we're going to go through all the comments. We got some requests already. And so, we've got an older gap here. We got the 200-week moving average on Tesla. We got this next target here. Let's look at the daily chart. There's no sell signal on the weekly chart yet. We talked about this on the live streams, right? We drew this out in advance, and it could be playing out exactly like we thought, right? We kind of drew it out. It would break down, and then is it going to find support, come back, retest the moving averages and or the trending dots, put in some sort of bear flag, and then come back down, retest this target, and then even possibly back down the 200-week moving average, which comes into the next target below on Tesla. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get through everyone's comments. Trust me. Apple. Oh, Apple. Where is Apple 200? Not 200. We know the 200-week moving average is down here at 137. Where is March 2020 low? There it is. Apple has not retested the March 2020 lows. Apple would take a lot of people by surprise if it ever comes back down to the $53. Many will be surprised if Apple comes back. Apple did not put in a lower high from the December 2020. So this is the difference on Apple and NVIDIA. It didn't put in a lower high. It didn't put in a double top. It put in a new high, right? And so it may have put in a higher high and trapped the long-term bulls. And there are so many ETFs that hold Apple and NVIDIA, and it made higher highs, right? So many. So it could be taking many ETFs, could be taking funds like hedge funds. It could be taking pensions, 401ks, whatever they're invested in that have Apple, could be taking many by surprise. This is an all-time high. Breakdown. This is a lower high. Breakdown, again, the sell signal, and then a weekly close back below. So you got a lower high, and now you've got a lower low on Apple, signaling that not only this target was hit, right? It was hit last week, and that the higher probability that the probabilities continue to stack that this target will get hit, then possibly this target, then retested 200-week moving average, which Apple has not even retested yet. And then who knows if it comes back down and retests the March 2020 lows, just like Amazon did, right? So it's too early to say. And if you look at the daily chart, it's still bearish. It's bearish on the weekly chart. The daily chart, let's look at the monthly chart. It hit what, according to Colson, who did the research on it on one of our live streams, it was like 3.08 trillion at the peak. It's currently at 2.69 trillion, almost 2.7 trillion. It was lower. And so this is looking like bearish divergence long term. So bearish divergence, you could possibly see price back down below the 200-week moving average and sub 130 on Apple due to the bearish divergence longer term. And usually price will catch up to the relative strength, and relative strength is leaving Apple, and price will eventually catch up. So Seems like the probabilities continue to stack that Apple will hit the two lower targets, retest the 200-week moving average at some point, possibly go below it, and then we'll see from there. So keep that in mind on Apple. Weekly chart is bearish. Monthly chart is not bearish yet, but there is long-term bearish divergence. All right. Google, last one. Then we're going to take a quick sip. Then we're going to look at all the comments, go through and chart requests. Keep hitting and smashing the like button. I can't see while I'm doing the stream, but I know you guys are smashing the like button and going to hit our goal of 100, right? I know we're going to do it. I know it. I know it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. All right. Google, monthly chart still holding. That's the weekly chart. Monthly chart. This could be a lower high on the monthly chart. You've got a high, right? You've got bearish divergence. Then you had the trend reversal, came down, rallied on the monthly chart. This could be a lower high. Too early to call it. If you look back March 2020 low, let's put that on just as a bookmark of where Amazon came back to. Many other stocks, including Meta, Netflix, Disney, just to name a few. This could be the lower high on the monthly chart. Let's go to the weekly chart. Still holding on, bullish as of now, but signs of breaking down, broke down from the trend line, had the longer term bearish divergence on the daily chart. It's looking like the lower high is being put in. We talked about this. We talked about the long-term bearish divergence. We're covering this on the live stream. Watch the breakdown. Watch the breakdown. It broke down. Sell signal came down. Barely pierced target one. We were talking about expect bounces along the way. Could be, a lower high being put in. Some sort of a bear flag, right? Some sort of a bearish flag could put in that lower high. Looks like it could be putting in that lower high and looks like it's being put in. It's too early to call it. Whew. Okay. I'm going to flip back over and you got this gap here. Retest target one and then other targets and lower targets from down there. I'm going to come back over. Gold futures, ultra bearish. Silver, ultra bearish on the daily chart. Doesn't mean there won't be bounces along the way. Maybe come back up, retest 200-week moving average. VIX, bullish on the daily chart. We've been covering this all the way since back here at $14. Bounce, came all the way back down. Double bottom, triple bottom, breakout, target one, target two, coming up in a 200-week moving average. We talked about this. Weekly chart is bullish. I'm pretty sure it still is. Let's take a look at it. Still is bullish on the weekly chart. So it's bullish until it's not. It's not good for the stock market. It's not good for the S&P 500. This is the volatility S&P 500. If you look at the DXY, again, we talked about this, still bullish, ultra bullish on the 10-year yield, bullish on the VIX. I mean, it's all in the charts. We don't need to call it a black swan event. We've been talking about this in advance. And where's the opportunity? We always talk about what the opportunity is because we're not just doom and gloom bearish. With everything that, unfortunately, people are going to lose money because they let someone else handle their money, or they haven't learned to block out the noise and trust the charts, right? And since they haven't done that, they're going to have to learn the hard way. And yes, it sucks. Our own family and friends will suffer, right? Our own family and friends will no longer feel rich, and family and friends will have debt, right? They'll have a lot of debt, and so they're going to feel it once the overall 401ks, pensions, or maybe not pensions, will have problems. I'm sure there'll be issues overall, but 401ks in 2008 dropped 50%, right? I remember my parents' 401k in 2008 dropping 50%. Luckily, they were still working back then and had some time to recover those 401ks. But are they going to be impacted again? It seems like it, right? Here's the opportunity, right? We talked about this. SQQ. There's many more. I just chose this one because of the NASDAQ seem to be lagging compared to the Russell 2000. There's plenty of leveraged bear ETFs out there. I've been covering this one. And so had a breakout here. We talked about it. Breakout here. Talked about it. And here's the daily chart, right? The daily chart had the breakout, and the daily chart is still bullish. So this is what we're kind of watching here. Kind of zoom in, buy signal, break back down. But we talked about this, had that bullish divergence, right? Followed by a higher low. This could be another higher low. This could be another higher low. Could be finding support at the trending dots. And then once the weekly chart flips bullish, right? The weekly chart has already got green trending dots. But once the weekly chart flips bullish, may take some time, or it could flip bullish, this week, next week, the week after. Then we could see these higher targets finally get hit on SQQ. Again, I am in SQQ, but I'm not doing options on it. I've only got, stock on this. So, full disclosure, but this is not financial advice. Don't follow me. Don't copy trade me. Do this. This is a high risk. And if you have a video, if you have time to go take a look at the video is, I did a deeper dive on the SQQQ, and I even labeled it all caps, high risk. So look at that thumbnail, high risk thumbnail. Go check out that video. And I even sent it out through the free newsletter as well. So if you want to know more about it, I did a little bit deeper dive there. So with that, I'm going to take a quick break here. We're going to go through all the comments, and we're going to start charting everyone's requests. And let's see. Let's stop this for 1 second. And let's go to the comments. Okay. Rick's Money Makers Helton. Good morning, Rick. Let's go, buddy. Let's go, Rick. Welcome back. Killed it with Solana in the past couple of days. Big thanks to you for your education. You got it, Rick. Happy for you. I'm happy you're making money. That's awesome. We can take a look at it if you want. It's up 3.77% today. Weekly chart had a buy signal. The daily chart, be aware that the overall markets are correcting. And at some point, when do you take profit? Sounds like Rick already took profit, because we're not as excited about unrealized profit on this channel. We're about realized profit, because unrealized profit could disappear within an hour, right? So we talked about this breakout buy signal. Was it lagging behind Bitcoin? Was it lagging behind other crypto assets? Broke out on Thursday, the 28th. We talked about it. Target 1, target 2, target 3. We even covered this on the other video. Go take a look at that. Is Bitcoin and crypto breaking out? I did a video on that, sent it out through the free newsletter. All this was covered already, right? So, if you're not blocking out the noise, you're missing out. My own personal opinion, we will never be 100% accurate, but we are calling this in real time. We're laying it out in the live streams, videos. We're covering it all. Could it hit target 4? It could hit target 4. The weekly chart is still bullish. The daily chart is ultra bullish, but if it starts breaking back down, then consider taking profits. All right, let's keep going. Good morning, Rick. Oh, that's my comment. Dr. Nick, thanks for joining us on the live stream yesterday, Dr. Nick. Big shout out to him. If you're not following him on the X app, go over there and follow him. What is Nick's there it is. Go follow him on at N Sigmund. Super sniper over there. N Sigmund, Nikki Sig. Go follow him over there. He's going to be he's been on our live stream twice already. So go follow Dr. Nick Sigmund over there. And let's see. Dr. Nick added GF1. Yep, he was early bird. He's going to get the worm. Rick was early bird. And, he didn't ask for a request, but we took a look at Solana. Let's keep going. Yep, huge gap. We'll take a look at it. What else? Goal 100 likes. Come on. Come on everybody. Come on everybody. We got viewers on here. Let's get 20 likes. Let's get 30 likes. Let's get 50 likes. Someone comment, let me know how many likes we have right now. And let's get 100 likes with the live crew and the replay crew. We need the replay crew to come through. We need the live crew to help the replay crew. And we help each other. Let's go. Doc, link to merch store so I can get a Marcus Sniper hat. I don't have any merch. Dr. Nick, this was given to me, one of our snipers in the Discord. He owns a hat company. I've thought about doing hats, and I've thought about doing like coffee mugs or whatever, but man, there's only so much time in the day. I could probably set it up on Shopify. Maybe we'll get there eventually. So maybe you want to run that, Dr. Nick. Maybe you want to set it up, run it. I'll give you the logos, all that stuff, and we can partner up on it. So if anyone wants to take that over, has some skills in that, I'm open to. I don't have enough time to run a merch store, but if you want to run it on my behalf, I'm definitely happy to do a split with you. Cool. Let's keep going. Doc, good evening from DE. Is that Delaware? Are you in the state of Delaware, Doc? Good evening. Thanks for coming back, Doc. Thanks for being back on the live stream. Good morning, Sniper Arnold. Good morning, buddy. Welcome back. John, PSQ looks bullish. Okay. PSQ, do you want me to chart it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, John. Inverse QQQ. Okay. Yeah, the SQQQ is the inverse of QQQ as well. So I'm sure it does look bullish. So PSQ, we can take a look at it if you want. Let's keep going. Emmanuel. What's up, Emmanuel? Did you post a BT? No, I didn't. I ran out of energy. I was working on a couple projects behind the scenes, and I couldn't quite get myself to do it. So tonight, we're going to do it tonight, Emmanuel. We'll do it tonight. We'll do it this afternoon or this evening. So I got it on the list today. We'll do a BTC video. We'll dive in at least 10 minutes. We'll post it. We'll send it through the free newsletter. So everyone take a look at that. We'll do a deeper dive on it. The correction is correcting. Welcome back, Aldo. G-Rod, let's get it. Good morning. Welcome back, G-Rod. Good morning. Doc, awesome charts. Thanks a lot. I can smell the crash like 1987. It's possible. It's possible. The comparison I did, Doc, was, because I did the comparison mostly on the NASDAQ, was similar to the 2000, somewhere in between the .com bubble and the 2008 correction. So if you go back and look at the market crash video that I did 9 days ago, I think it was, I was comparing it to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 of 2008. So it looks like there's a little bit of both in that. It's its own correction, but there were similarities in both the .com bubble and the 2008 correction. But I didn't take a deeper dive on the 1987 crash. I know other people have talked about it, but I try to keep it within I don't know. I was trying to keep it within a lot more recent chart history, like within 20 years. But I'm sure there's similarities to the 1987 as well. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there are similarities playing out. John, macro experts been telling people to ape into TLT for a year now. So yeah, macro experts, what they're really good at is being wrong for much longer than I could ever imagine myself being wrong for. And that would not be a good situation for me. I actually have to make money. Why are people so obsessed with buying the dip on TLT? I'm sure I have TLT here. Let's take a look at it since you brought it up. It's bearish. The last time I checked at it, and I don't have any horses in the race, as they say. TLT. It's ultra bearish. We already covered this, right? We already covered it's ultra bearish on the daily. It's ultra bearish on the weekly chart. the 200-week moving average is down. They're just guessing, John. John, they're guessing bottoms, and that's not how you make money. They're getting killed right now. And like as you say, if you look back since April, that was a lower high, and that lower high is had a sell signal right back in April. So 6 months ago was the last sell signal. There hasn't even been a buy signal. Let's see if there hasn't even been an RSI buy signal since November 2022. So that's almost a year, right? At a little tiny, but they was still bearish back then. So wasn't even waiting. They weren't even really waiting for a higher probability reversal, and then it reversed back down. If you look at the monthly chart, it's ultra bearish on the monthly chart, right? Uh, the last time it had a run was 2019, right? It came all the way back up to 180, call it 100, basically $180. And then since then, it's been in a bear market, right? Since hitting 180, it's been in a bear market. This is a lower high on the monthly chart. Then it was having monthly closes back below the 200-week moving average. And it's been bearish and ultra bearish ever since. So I don't know what the macro guys are experts are looking at, but I can tell you, John, they're guessing. They've been on the wrong side, I'm sure of it. They've been on the wrong side ever since probably January 2022. So probably a lot longer than you've been watching them for, but they've probably been on the wrong side, calling bottoms all the way down. And this is what you're going to see often, that you're going to see macro experts be on the wrong side for 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, whatever. They're guessing, right? So we just look at the charts. We block the noise. Don't even care what the experts or macro experts are saying. They're wrong, right? Some will probably be right, and eventually they might be proven right. But unfortunately, for me, I don't have the luxury to be wrong for 2 years. So let's keep going. I took profits with URNJ at 25 because markets look like they are breaking down. We'll look to re-enter at some point. Okay, congratulations. Good job. We are all about taking those profits. Little profits, big profits are still profits. Even the little profits increase to become eventually bigger profits and then become big profits, right? So Dr. Nick, 10, 11. Oh, likes. I think those are likes. Awesome. Well, we got a long ways to go. If we're only, well, that was 9:27. So we got a long ways to go. 10, 11. We got a long ways to go to get 100. Come on. Come on, live crew. Come on, replay crew. How about the live crew? Oswaldo, good morning. Welcome back. Stock BRK.B, buy for a long term while it's going down. What's your thoughts about it? It's probably, I'm going to guess that it had a all-time high followed by, I'm guessing that it's breaking down. And so I'm going to guess that it's not a buy for me. And, lo and behold, it is bearish, right? So let me kind of clean up the charts here. Kind of zoom in, right? So from this last pivot point, even had bearish divergence, right? So again, bearish divergence followed by a breakdown. It's ultra bearish right now, Oswaldo. So it's not a buy for me on the daily chart. I don't like to guess. I like to wait for higher probabilities. And most likely this is going to be a longer term correction. So if we kind of dive in, doesn't mean that there's not going to be bounces along the way. I just choose not to, I prefer, sometimes I do counter trades, right? And maybe they're on lower time frames. So I don't want to say that I don't, but could see something like that, like a bear flag, kind of letting the trending dots and the moving averages kind of catch up, right? And then retrace back down. But right now it's ultra bearish. And if we flip over to the weekly chart, you have you had the all-time high, and then you have a new high. And very similar to Apple, it never retested the 200-week moving average. and hasn't retested the March 2020 lows back here. So it's possible that, it was one of those stocks that was kind of help keeping it propped up. But if you look at the weekly chart and you kind of draw this out here, and let me take this off for now, and then you kind of draw out this trend line, right? It broke down. So it was having bearish divergence on the daily chart. Then it had a weekly close below the upward trending line. And then you had a weekly close below the trending dots. And now it's breaking down. It's in the RSI sell signal last week. So it looks like in the near future, whether it's this week, next week, the week after, there will be a sell signal on Berkshire Hathaway as well. And so that's what I'm kind of looking at. So it's not a buy for me. Like, there's several factors that you could see possibly, test target here, retest target here, and then eventually possibly break back down below the, to the 200-week moving average. So as it's breaking down like this, it's not a buy for me, right? And if you look at the monthly chart, there is bearish divergence on the monthly chart. So you got longer term bearish divergence, it's possible we see prices come back down, below 215, below 200, maybe all the way back down to March 2020 lows. So it's not a buy for me. Those are my thoughts. It seems like an overall market correction is happening. You got long-term bearish divergence. Could take some time to play out. Breaking down the daily chart, weekly chart is getting close to becoming bearish. Bearish divergence long term on the monthly chart. So not for me. Let's keep going. Can you look at? Yeah, Jose, you got it. That was actually a request from Alejandro on the X app, so it's on my list. I owe that guy already. He helped me, tell me what streaming software, and him and his tech guy over there runs the tech over there. Told me I needed a more powerful gaming laptop to be able to power these streams. So definitely owe that guy, and for helping me out. I appreciate it. So we're gonna be going over the shout out to Alejandro over there. Salamandran is his X app name, and ENVX. We're gonna cover that, and his other request was Rivian. So we'll get through that. Greatest live stream channel of all time. Let's go, John. Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate it. 100 waves. John, welcome back, my man. Germany. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that would be great. I'm long PSQ. Ooh. Keep a close eye on it. Expect bounces along the way. Johnny C, nice job. Welcome back, Johnny C. We got some Discord members in here. Evening all. Lucas Land. Lucas Land. All right, let's go back through some requests and let's keep going. The first request that I see, GF1, but I had some other requests. I had Rivian and NVX on Twitter first. So we're going to do that first, Nick. Then we're going to come back to GF1. I took a quick glance at GF1 futures, and that gap was huge, Dr. Nick. I'm going to definitely take a look at that. Rivian, this is the monthly chart. Not a lot of chart history. I like a lot more chart history, but this is a crowd favorite. Still currently bullish, but looks like on the weekly chart, it could be putting in potentially lower highs. It's possible that, after this bullish divergence, it still puts in, kind of clean all this up, kind of start fresh. There is longer term bullish divergence. So at some point in, actually the bullish divergence could be cleared out already. Maybe none of these targets. Let me just remove everything. Kind of start over. There's a lower high. This could be a lower high. This could be another lower high, right? RSI sell signal. So it could see a sell signal in the near future. There is a smaller gap down here at $16, and then at some point you come back down and test the lows. Let's look at the daily chart. Yeah, there are some gaps down here. That was a big move up when a lot of people got excited. Around $15, big move up, right? And it had the bearish divergence, right? I'm sure I'm sure the indicator will pick up the bearish divergence if I change the inputs on it. But to save time, he had a let's go ahead and add that. Let's put on the gap dotted line, right? This could be a lower high. You got a pending sell signal. You're looking here, looking at it, right? Looks like it broke down. Doesn't mean it could, it broke down, kind of trapped some more longs to the upside, and it looks like it's breaking down. Seems like the higher probability that you get a sell signal back below the upward trend line, sell signal below the trending dots again. It's curling back down, right? Seems like this gap could be filled. Maybe come back down, retest this below $20. So if you were in a long position and you took it from back here and you had bearish divergence followed by sell signal, at what point did you take profits? If not, at what point do you take profits, right? Something you have to decide. Pending sell signal on Rivian. If you got in late and you're stuck in a position underwater, sometimes it's better to cut your losses, live to fight another day, right? Okay. Wow. I've never charted Innovix Corporation, right? I've never charted before. This is the first time. People are asking about it because they believe in the company, right? Salamandrin, if you're watching this, he believes in the company. Sounds like the fundamentals of it are awesome, right? Maybe the tech of it. But wait, right? Again, not financial advice. Wait for all this to happen. Hopefully it survives a crash, right? But the weekly chart is still bearish. The daily chart is ultra bearish. It's gapping down. We don't know where the bottom's going to be. There's not a ton of chart history on it. This is the low down here at $6.53, right? So that is the low here from January 2023, $6.50 roughly. And that is the lowest it's ever been. And it's trending back down towards it, right? So already hit all the retracement targets. It's at a key target area right now, probably, but it's ultra bearish. Seems like it's going down. And that doesn't mean that's going to be a double bottom. It could continue lower, right? So, buying dips before the reversals could have you underwater 30%. Who knows where the bottom's going to be? Wait for those higher probability reversals. We don't know where it's going to end up. Could end up lower, right? And then buy the right dip. Hashtag buy the right dip. You want to wait for those higher probabilities. All right, cover those from Twitter. Let's go back to Dr. Nick. Let's go back to smashing the like, smash it, make sure to subscribe. Let's get obnoxious with it. We got to keep it fun, got to keep it light. We got to have some fun on here. If anyone's got any good jokes, go ahead and put it in the comments. We got to have some fun here. Education's one thing. Let's have some entertainment as well. Yep, I added futures to the list. Let's take a look at it now. All right. Dr. Nick, let me know in the comments. Are you looking for a short? Are you already in a short position? Brian, Discord member here. Can you short some uranium stuff? Yeah, you got it. You got it. We got a lot to go through. Oh, wow. Legend. Discord member from day one, Grant Matterson. Welcome, Grant. I know you're usually on the replay crew. Let me know what time zone it is. I'm pretty sure you're in Australia. I know you're in Australia. Good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Let me know what time it is there, Grant. It's probably too early for you or really late there. 12 hours. Is it 12-hour difference? I don't know. I can't remember. Can't 6 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. I can't remember. No, more than that. More than that. Let me know, Grant. All right, let's get back to it. Those comments caught my eye. We're going to get to them all. We're going to come back to this. Let's look at it. Nick, let me know if you're in a short position or you're looking at it, because here's what we've got. This is feeder cattle futures. We've got bearish divergence, right? On the weekly chart, we got bearish divergence. We got an RSI sell signal, right? We got an RSI sell signal. We've got a huge move from 157 all the way up. It seems like we're going to see some retracements here, right? It seems like we're going to see a breakdown, whether it happens overnight, whether it takes a couple weeks to play out, but this could be the first week that it actually breaks down from the trending dots on the weekly chart and kind of build out the parabolic trend line, right? We had a weekly close below this one. Let me redraw it. Right? There we go. So we had bearish divergence, a weekly close below, This could be the first weekly close below here. And that would be signaling to me with an RSI sell signal. Again, remember, the bounces could continue. And there could be bounces that create future bearish divergence. So be aware of that. If you're trading this on a lower time frame, there might be multiple opportunities, but you also want to be aware that there could be possible future bearish divergence, even if it, say if it comes down like this and then bounces, puts in the lower high and bounces and then puts in a higher high, right? And then rolls over, right? So that is a possibility. Remember, shorting the bounce is the higher probability. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Most likely, Sniper Nick is already in a short position. And if you look at it here, you had the bearish divergence going all the way back, right? Bearish divergence. And then this looks like a sneaky high, lower high here. And then now it's breaking down. So if Sniper Nick, you're in this, it could drop below, like similar play to like NASDAQ, where it comes all the way down below, hits a key target, kind of bounces up. Maybe it's lesser. So it seems like it's a less likely scenario that it'll put in future bearish divergence, but it could come down like this. Now they kind of dial in on the daily chart, put in another lower high, similar to like the NASDAQ. And so you've got a sneaky lower high here. You've got this bearish divergence like that, similar to the NASDAQ, similar to NVIDIA, all that stuff. Breaking down, comes back up, puts in another lower high, and then boom, longer term targets being hit. I mean, this chart looks exactly like NVIDIA. If we look at NVIDIA and put a side-by-side comparison, had a huge, massive gap, right? So a huge, massive gap. This one's 11%, followed by bearish divergence, long-term bearish divergence, followed by a lower high, breakdown, maybe another lower high, and then breakdown from there. So, yep, I don't see if Dr. Nick is in it, but that's what I'm seeing there. So I'm not in a short position here, but if it does come down and, look for that bounce, look for that bear flag, look for that future lower high, and then maybe it breaks back down again from that longer term trend. And you got this gap down here, all the way down here at 208, right? So 208, massive 11% gap, right? Not as massive as that 20% NVIDIA gap, but wow, there's a lot of similarities, right? Big gap, bearish divergence, lower high, breakdown, possibly another lower high, boom, all the way down, hit all those targets. Whew, we're already at an hour, 10 minutes. I feel like we have a lot more to go. That's why I got the bigger cup of water. Let's see. John, are you still here, John? We can take a look at it if you're still here. The inverse of the QQQ. Are you still here, John? Let me know. BRK.B. Oswaldo, we already took a look at that. Oh, I'm long PSQ. Yep. Okay. That makes sense. Johnny, nice job, Jesse. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny, thank you. Evening all. Let's keep going it. I actually skimboarded this morning, caught some fun waves. Yep. John's been in the Discord a long time. He's been on the X app a long time. Awesome, John. All right. Long time Discord sniper. You got me. You're still here. You got the skimboarded in this morning. That's awesome. I always like seeing your posts on the X app. John, comment your X app so people can follow your skimboarding over there on the X app. Put it in the comments. I always enjoy your photos over there on skimboarding, and I think you do videos over there too, and of course you put charts over there and stuff like that. So PSQ, stocks, ETF. Where is it? Is it PSQ? Is that what it was? PSQ. That's what you wrote. PSQ. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Found it. It's probably going to look very similar to the SQQ that we've been talking about. So you got the daily chart, right? Let's look at the weekly chart. Kind of zoom out here. So you've got longer term bullish divergence, right? Longer term, and then a potentially sneaky higher low on the weekly chart, followed by two weekly closes above. You got green trending dots, and in the near future, we could be seeing a potential buy signal in the near future. If you look, you've got the 200-week moving average way up here at $16. And let me know, is this on this ProShares short, John? Let me know if you're, at 631 skim. Yeah, definitely follow John over there. I follow John. He does some great charts over there as well, and some great skimboarding shots. He's really into it. I think he even posts, a lot of his pizza shots over there. I had pizza last night. I love me some pizza too. So follow John over there on the X app at 631 skim. Long time sniper over there. Yes, PSQ. Okay, let's look at the daily chart. So what was your entry, John? What was your entry point on PSQ? I'm interested where you're at. And we'll take a look at it here. Just kind of draw a trend line here. So you got this move right there. You got a buy signal at 1065. If you're more aggressive on it, maybe you were taking a position back down here, somewhere around there, maybe that buy signal. Then you got a higher low, right? So you got the low, sneaky higher low here, break out of this more aggressive downward trend line, followed by another higher low, and then a breakout here. So this is going to be your higher probability position here, right? So this is your higher probability, and it's got the buy signal at 1067. If it was somewhere around there, right? Currently up almost 3%, not including if it's a third higher low. Got it, 1077. Nice. Okay. So then it came back and retraced, and maybe you even took the position there, or 1070. Yeah. So maybe it retraced to the trending dots, and then you kind of took position there and bought off of support somewhere around there, right? So it's currently bullish. It's up around the $11. I can eyeball this in real time. Preliminary targets you're probably looking at, it's probably already like it's into like, oh, let's see if I can, it's going to let me draw some lines here or not. It's kind of going a little bit slower on the brush. but I can eyeball it here. You can kind of follow along with the cursor. This is probably near target 1 if you got in really low here, probably target 2, target 3, and then of course higher targets from there. And of course, you got the 200-week moving average back up at $16.91 on the EMA, but maybe you're on a regular MA or an SMA, whatever it is. I just have it on as kind of a bookmark. For some reason, my chart is taking really slow. Maybe the stream is really slow. Maybe we're breaking the internet. Maybe we're breaking YouTube, right? So let's keep going. Let's see if I can get onto another chart. So you're going to be trying to push that one as long as you can. Did you just buy the stock, John, or are you in an options play? Kind of curious. Let's see, Nick. Yep, that was so long ago, Nick. We're at 10 likes. We're at 11. Hopefully we get to 100, right? Let's keep going. We did that one. Yep, boom. Live stream channel of all time. It's going to be. We're going to keep getting better, John. We're going to keep getting better. Continued growth every day, every live stream. Okay, let's see. We hit all those. Lucas Land. Sorry. I'm figuring out your name in real time, Lucas Land. I was figuring out your time in real time. Figuring out your name in real time. All right, here we go. Brian, Discord member here. How do we know that, Brian? What is your Discord name? How do we know you're not tricking me? Brian Callie, what is your Discord name? Let me know. I'll recognize the Discord name for sure. Uranium stuff. All right, let's cover one of them. Someone said, maybe it was John, someone said they took profit at URNM already. Or maybe that was Doc, maybe. Or was that, let me see, let me just scan it. Let me scan the comments. Someone said that they took profit on, John. I took profits with URNJ. Oh, that's different. At 25 because of markets. Okay. So that's different. Never mind. All right, let's look at it. Uranium miners ETF. Okay. Let's take a look. Brian, are you in a long position? Are you looking to take profits, even though this is not financial advice? Or are you getting into a short position? Or let me know what the plan is. You can see the 200-week moving average is down here at $28. We had bearish divergence on the daily. Forgot my Discord name. Sign up for Discord app only for your subscription. Let me know. All right, no problem. Email me if you need to, and let me know if you need me help you get back into the Discord. I'll be happy to resend it to you. Just let me know. Send me an email with your billing email address. Help you get back in. And so here is URNM. Bearish divergence on the daily chart. Bearish divergence on the daily chart, followed by RSI sell signal on this candle here. And then we had a candle close below the trending dots. It looks like in the near future, we could be getting a sell signal on the daily chart, possibly in the near future. BC21 is okay, cool. Let's see in the weekly chart. This could be a lower high on like a longer term look. So like $8. This is the all-time high here, November 2021. Is this a lower high here? Some would say this is looking like a nasty reversal candle, right? So if you're into like the candles and stuff like that, you're probably looking at that as like this would be a reversal candle. And so you're kind of looking at it like at the very least, would it come back and retest the trending dots? Would it let the moving averages catch up? Will there be a sell signal on the daily chart in the near future? And kind of eyeball tests, you can see that, from this pivot point down here at $28, where the 200-week moving average is, you can see like target here, target here, target here, but it's breaking down after bearish divergence. And so will we be seeing a sell signal in the near future? Brian Callie, BC. All right. Okay. So that's URNM. Let's keep a look. Let's take a look at some more. What else? What else do we have? Forgot my Discord name. Sign up for Discord. Okay. Similar space, but different ticker. Okay. Got it. Yeah. You took profit. Hindsight. Good job, John. Good job. Good job on that. Maybe you're seeing some bearish divergence. I think we talked about it on a previous live stream. So good job there. Okay, is that it? Are there any more that you guys want me to chart? We're an hour and 20 minutes into it. What's Bitcoin doing? Any other requests? Still holding 27,417. Still holding. NASDAQ futures breaking down. In hindsight, is this going to be a lower high? It's breaking down. We'll take a look at it. Russell 2000 breaking down. Ultra bearish on the Russell 2000. S&P 500 breaking down. Ultra bearish on the Dow Jones futures. Ultra bullish on the 10-year yield. Whew. I still got some water left here. Any other? We got some more comments. Anything else? Anything else? So I figured. Oh, yep. Yeah, it was more overall market looked bearish. Yeah. Okay. It's good intuition there. So I figured wouldn't be immune, right? Good intuition. Divergences help with intuition as well. Giving us those signals in advance of something to be aware of, watching for breakdowns, stuff like that. DXY, ultra bullish on the daily chart. It's fully into target 3 now. We'll see if it comes up and hits target 4. Ultra bullish. Getting close. Is bullish on the weekly chart. Still bullish on the monthly chart, right? Ultra bullish on the daily. Take a quick look. Still ultra bearish on the daily chart for gold futures, silver, VIX, right? SQQ. Come on. I'm in an SQQ position. Come on, SQQ. Let's go for it. I took it back here, right? So I'm currently up. It's a 3x leverage. I did not take 3x leverage short of the inverse of the QQQ. I did not take an options play on it. Recap. Yep. Pending sell signal. Yep. Oh, wow. That if you got this, Dr. Nick, if you got this feeder cattle future short and you got it back here, try to push this trade maybe, Dr. Nick. I know you took an amazing when we were on the live coaching calls. We got to take a reminiscence here. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. But before we take a trip down memory lane with Dr. Nick, before we do, right? Let's take a trip down memory lane. Dr. Nick, and we cover this on a live coaching call, which is all recorded. It's still there. So if you're in recorded coaching, go back and take a look, or maybe you remember we talked about it. But Dr. Nick shorted Luna at the top, right? He shorted Luna, and it was a great trade for him. And then in hindsight, and we even talked about, will it put in a lower high? And I didn't take a short position, right? If Dr. Nick could have, should have shorted Luna again on that lower high, right? The higher probability, he could have shorted that from $77 all the way down to nothing, right? So I believe he shorted it from like, I don't know, I'm going off of memory here. I think he shorted it is like 120 something. He shorted it down to like, I don't know, it was a good short. And then there was a lower high put in. And I think there was an opportunity. If Dr. Nick is still here, put in the comments what it was. I'm just trying to go off of memory here, and I don't want to go back to the charts and relive it, but I just want to take a trip down memory lane that he shorted the bearish divergence. And then if he would have shorted that lower high, the higher probability, he could have shorted it all the way down to like basically nothing. So woulda, coulda, shoulda, there'll be some bigger ones. So the point is maybe, and your strategy is different. You treat it like a business, truly. But maybe try to push this trade a little bit further. Maybe not. If you're looking at a lower time frame, Dr. Nick, maybe you just take the profits and run, right? It's served you well, my man. It has served you well. Eventually, you might catch a bigger move, though. It is bearish on the daily chart, pending sell, RSI sell signal, weekly divergence on the feeder cattle. Big gap down here. What would that look like? I don't know what the contract you took and when it expires. But for example, I have NASDAQ futures bearish short is good till December. So I'm going to decide in real time if I continue to push my NASDAQ futures longer term in November into October into November, possibly right until December. Or if I take profits and continue to short the bounce, right? That's probably what I'll do. But I'm already in the NASDAQ short, so I probably won't be joining you on the cattle futures on this current breakdown. If there is a short the bounce opportunity with that big gap, I may change my tune, right? So I may switch over to that if it gives us a lower high. What else? We got some more people watching live. We're an hour and a half in. Are we going to call it? Do we have any more comments? Do we have any more people that want me to chart something for them? We got in a groove on this one. We're watching it break down in real time. We've talked about it. We've talked about the bearish divergence. We talked about a lower high. We talked about a lower high. I can go back into here and remove the question mark. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to go ahead and put on here in real time, even though it hasn't officially closed below, and taking out this lower low yet to confirm it. I'm going to go ahead and say that is the third lower high, right? We've been talking about this on the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and call it. We are calling it ahead of time. Will it put in a third lower high? Will it put in a third lower high? And then this breakdown here, obviously a candle close below this trend line will make me feel that way. Matic. Okay, Junior. All right, you caught me right before. All right, we're going to look at Matic for you. This would be the third lower high, possible bear flag, right? Possible bear flag. Boom. Something like that, right? Lines up nicely with the next target lower. Then we expect bounces along the way, right? So comes down, just like we kind of talked about, could happen, breaks down, and then does some sort of like correction, possibly before, puts in some new pattern that we don't even know exists yet, puts in another pattern, breaks down, and then possibly hits further targets to the downside. So we'll take it level by level, step by step. And before we call it, let's take a look at Matic for Junior Young. Okay. All right, Junior. Let's take a look. We covered this, right? We covered this. And go back, if you want to take the deeper dive on crypto, we covered like 10 different assets, Junior. Maybe you already did, but we covered it on the Bitcoin and crypto. Is it breaking out, right? So Matic had that bullish divergence, followed by that sneaky higher low, followed by a candle close back above at about 52 cents. And then another close. The trending dots started to flip green and then had that buy signal. And price came all the way up and is tapped that first target basically twice, right? So it hasn't even hit target one yet. It's possible it hits target one and then rolls over based off the overall markets. It's possible it doesn't care because we trade each chart individually. We trade each chart separately, and it's possible it comes up, hits this, it does its own thing and comes out, hits target 1, rolls over, comes up, hits target 2, rolls over, maybe even the 200-week moving average, possibly stretches all the way up there and comes back over. So we're trading the charts individually. It's still, it barely tapped the target, but I didn't even check off the target box yet because it's possible it gets up in the target 1, and then we'll kind of see from there. So what you'd be looking for in real time is kind of build out this trend line like that. And if it starts breaking back down, it had a fake out already. And you can kind of see, like, if you build it out where the trending dots are, that's kind of like your mental stop loss in real time. Like, hey, if it starts breaking back down below here, when do you get out, right? And but in the meantime, you can kind of draw a more aggressive one like that and see if it continues to stay above this trend line in the shorter term, hits this target, then rolls over, hits this target, rolls over. I think that's it. I think we're good. Hopefully we hit our goal of 100 likes. Hopefully we brought a lot of value today to all the snipers who've been following me on the X app, the Discord, YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate all of your support. We'll continue to sniper the markets together, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next one. And look for the video coming out tonight. We're going to do a little bit deeper dive on Bitcoin and take a look at it. Might even throw on some halving scenarios. So it could run over 10 minutes. We'll try to do our best, keep it that 10-minute range. And I'll get that video out tonight and send it through the free newsletter. So make sure you're subscribing there again. And with that, thanks a lot, Junior. Thanks to everyone out there. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.